y'all doing? It's Chey. So, I went to university in Washington, D.C. I went to Georgetown, and my junior year is when COVID struck, at the end of my junior year. So, for my senior year, they allowed only a few students to come back that needed the internet access, really, and because of hardships. So that meant that I was able to go back, but a lot of my friends weren't able to return to campus, and also, there weren't any in-person classes, I think. And because of that, like a lot of people during the pandemic, there are many friends that I haven't seen for almost 3 years, I think it is now. Not just because of the pandemic, but also because after graduation, I moved back to Tennessee, while a lot of them either stayed in DC or they moved to areas along the East Coast. One of my friends who I haven't seen in 3 years is still at G-Town. She's a graduate student, and we've been planning on seeing each other since forever, obviously, like a lot of people with loved ones during the pandemic. And we've been talking about my return to DC, being able to hang out for a few days, stuff we'd want to do. But recently, the stars even more so aligned, not just because she's still in DC, but also she's in my favorite professor's graduate class. As such, we thought it was a perfect opportunity for me to come in and sit in on his class with her, not only just to see him again and catch up, but also to catch up with her and hang out and do all the stuff that we've been talking about doing. Plus, hopefully run into other friends that I haven't seen in years around the area. Like I said, we've been planning this for so long, talking about it, just the general idea of it, but with the stars aligning, with her still being in the area, being in his class, I just thought, why not? Let's do it. Let's just go. Why not? So this vlog is a little bit of a chaotic one. It's not really aesthetic, which what really is when it's true to life. But we packed a lot in. It was a ton of fun, and I can't wait for y'all to see it.
It's the specific, like, what if it said, like, mauled by small dog, finished off by even smaller dog?
Yeah.
What about being mauled by a cat? Cannibalistic cat.
Yeah. Good lord.
She's the most photogenic one here in the apartment by
Yeah.
far.
Oh, yeah.
She's looking up at your hand with it, too.
Wow.
She's, like, not even looking at the end of the string. She's like, give me
She
your
looks
hand.
like a model.
That was her author photo. Her looking overly down into the left.
2 weeks ago, so I haven't been drawing a lot of other things either.
Not because you're a bad
No.
student,
No.
but just because
I don't have
reading is hard.
Impressive. When was this event?
I'll meet you again, Puss in Boots, if it's the last thing I do.
So which one of us is Puss in Boots?
You are. You're the, like, rogue, small one. Rogue.
I like that definition. I like that description of me.
Oh my gosh, look at the way that it dies. Hi! This is the greatest store in the universe, and I'm glad that she's introducing you to it. That's excellent. Let's see. Oh, what was the book I said I was... I recommend that Cheyenne buy this. Jon Stewart's book of essays written pre-Daily Show. It's quite good.
We have a relationship based off of John Oliver and Jon Stewart. That's
true.
complicated to explain.
It is quite complicated. Contains removable memorabilia. Look. They really
I saw
upped
the
their...
cheese shop in there.
Oh, no, there's absolutely gonna happen there. Look at it. Look, and there's even a creepy alley behind it. Give me a break. Oh, and it's multiple buildings. Yeah.
I love that.
Cats the musical.
Stico's gonna cry.
Hey. Hey, sweetie. Buster's so cute. Hi. How are you?
We did have somebody a couple of weeks ago that was like, I just found out I'm allergic to cats. I'm so sorry. Yeah, but that's quite a way to find out you're allergic to around 30 cats.
I mean, total immersion is one way to do it.
Yeah. Bathing in a cat pool is one way to do it.
We have some employees that are like surprisingly.
Turn around.
He's here with his brother Ronnie.
Ronnie.
They're all named after Jersey Shore people.
Oh
Because
my
they have like a Snooki, a JWoww.
Amazing. Oh my god.
Ronnie is asleep in the box over there.
Oh.
He does not look as Adam Driver-esque.
Yeah.
DJ Paul.
Yeah, people are always like, what breed is he? I'm like, I don't know. All of his siblings look fairly normal. I don't know.
He is fixed in like the past like few days.
Whoa.
Yeah. So I think this is Sunspot. I love Buster.
I love his
him. Very,
bow
very
tie.
He's such a good cat.
What a good boy.
Good boy.
His first few days here.
Walking down the street this morning because they're staying at the Four Seasons and just saw us and called like the Four Seasons called us. I was like, I have been for Ellen. And we're like,
Interesting.
no, don't tell anybody. She'll be there in an hour.
Ooh, wow.
But
Is it awkward while
it was.
I'm holding a bowl of cat.
Yes. There's a Caleb Shomo vibe to this guy. Hi, baby.
Head squitches.
Head squidges. Look at the little feet. Look at the little feet. Bad boy.
I love him. Him and him.
Yeah. Yes. Oh.
A new friend?
A new friend.
I'm still with Vance.
Good. Faithful, I see.
He looks so at ease. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness.
B-roll.
B-roll.
I can't wait to see this video.
Yeah,
Hear
sure.
that? YouTube? Yeah.
I don't go for aesthetics. If I went for aesthetics, I'd never make anything at all.
Yeah.
So you already took 2 weeks in archives to find only these 3 documents. See, just to show you how sometimes how few information we have on a killing of more than 1,000 people.
Martin's Tavern basically feels like this but messier. Have you ever been here before?
Yeah.
Yeah. Hi! Hello!
I don't know if I feel about that.
The interwebs.
Oh, I'm not even in it. Oh, okay, I get it.
No, I mean, you can be if you
No,
want
I
to.
don't. It's fine.
Should probably pop out in just a second.
Surprise. Shocker.
Like this is pretty but the little flies are back
That's so funny.
Thank you. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. I'll take 1, 2, 3. This is amazing.
It is now Saturday, and I am back home. It was quite the whirlwind of the trip, like I said, and you probably saw in the video, we packed a lot in. My mom, so ever thankful for her, volunteered to drive me to DC. Wednesday morning, we left sharply at 4:30 a.m., and we didn't get there till about 6:05, just because of lovely traffic. And as soon as I got on campus, as soon as the car pulled on campus, I was bolting out of the car and to class to go meet Alex and then to go to the professor's class. But we made it. We were on time, so worked out perfectly. I won't talk that much about the class, I'll just give you a brief wrap-up of it. If you've watched my book videos recently, or Week in My Life videos, you saw this book in them, me reading this book. That was for this class, that's why I said it was homework. The class is about Philip Roth, because the professor that I mentioned is sort of the guy on Philip Roth, and that's the class that my friend is taking. Not only was it fun to see him and her, but also just to be back in a class like that and have it be of no consequence. Like, I don't have to worry about my grades, I don't have to worry about, like, what other students think of me, or what the professor may think of me and write in their evaluations. I was just there to actually give my thoughts and have fun, and I had a lot of it. That was pretty much all we did that first night, just because it was so late and I was so tired from the drive. After the class, talked to the professor a little bit, and then I went back to Alex's house, and we hung out for a little bit, talked with a few more friends, and then I just headed back to the hotel room and passed out. The next day is where we packed everything in. We started bright and early at 9 a.m. We started to plan for 8, but then I was like, I'm gonna be exhausted, so let's do 9 a.m. and see where that takes us. So, 9 a.m., we met up at the local university coffee shop, sort of directly off campus, grabbed some coffee, grabbed some food, and then we headed back to my home away from home on campus at GU. It was a running joke while I was there that wasn't really a joke, that if I wasn't in my room, you'd find me at the CJC. It was only natural then that we would go back and I could see the place and be nostalgic. I was really excited to see the staff there and friends that I haven't seen in a long time, but guess what? It was a Thursday, and it turns out most of them work remotely on Thursdays. But, luckily, some people were still there, namely professors that I hadn't seen in a while that were with the center that I got to catch up and say hello to, and it was very nice. It was very lovely to see them again. One of them I actually worked pretty close with while I was an undergrad, and he was teaching a class that night, and he invited Alex and I to come in and sit on the class for a little bit. Class aligned pretty perfectly with our dinner plans for later, so we were able to get in there for, I think, about an hour and just hang out and then sort of sneak out the door. But again, it was really cool to be a part of that class again, especially because it was a class that I was pretty involved in, the program that it was associated with, and getting to see fresh faces in it and it being taught again and just being part of it was really neat. Honestly, I miss that whole department, and I'm going back in the spring, as I mentioned earlier in this video, where I'm going to plan on having more time to hang out with people and make plans to do things with more people. That way it's not just a whirlwind rush. After hanging out at the CJC for a little bit and seeing people come through, Alex and I started out on our adventures of things that we had been talking about doing for a while and hadn't gotten to, that we hadn't yet gotten to. Possibly my favorite thing is we went and saw Much Ado About Nothing at the Shakespeare Theater Company. It was so much fun hanging out with Alex again in person. Our friendship was really cut short because we met January of my junior year, and we really hit it off and became really fast friends, and then March came, and COVID struck, and the world said bye! But it was cool to pick back up on that in person and just pick up where we left off like we had seen each other the past week, not 2 years ago. Something that Alex kept saying, and I totally agree with, is even though we packed so much in the day, at no point did it feel stressful. And I mostly associate that with just us being comfortable and having so much fun around each other. We were laughing the entire time. Alex is such a funny and caring and extremely talented person. She's one of those talented people where she's so talented that you're like, geez, save some for the rest of us. But enough about that. Alex, I'm not gonna gush about you anymore. I love you dearly, but gushing is over for now, you know me. I'm gonna get to a very quick haul of the things that I picked up while in DC, and then we're gonna get the heck out of this video. What say you? I say aye. That was very Jacques of me to say. I think by being in proximity to him during that visit just somehow altered the chemicals in my brain again, and I just... Anyway, so the record shop we went to was one called Joint Custody. I had never been to it before, and that's mainly why I was excited to go, just besides records. But so, the first thing I got at Joint Custody was the single for Treat Me Like Your Mother by The Dead Weather, which, if you don't know, is another Jack White associated project. The B-side is You Just Can't Win. I actually don't own any Dead Weather albums or singles. This is my first one, even though I love them dearly. The second one that I got, which is also a first-time ownership of anything by this artist, that is long overdue is Aretha Franklin's I Never Loved a Man the Way I Loved You. I love Aretha. I was raised on a lot of Aretha's music. Like I said, owning this or anything by her is quite long overdue. Thirdly, lastly but not leastly, if you know anything about me, you know I absolutely adore The Clash. So, when I saw this next one, I, again, snatched it as fast as I could because I could not resist. The Clash Sandinista album. This album is just buck wild, sound-wise. If you've listened to this album, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. You probably either love or hate this album. I love this album because it's so weird and some people might say disjointed. If you've never heard it, I highly encourage you to try it to see what I'm talking about because it's just buck wild of an album. They're just vibing. You can always pick out Paul in any Clash photo because he just looks like he's way too cool to be there. I also picked up a book at Joint Custody Records, which was Revenge of the She-Punks. This is a book that I've had my eye on for a very long time, but I just haven't found a physical copy in any bookstore that I go to. So when I saw it, impulse grabbed it. Look forward to a review or possible single standalone video just on this. As for books from the actual bookstore, I got No One Here Gets Out Alive, which is a biography of Jim Morrison. I actually already own a copy of this, but it got very badly water damaged, and I've just been looking for a replacement copy for a very long time. I think they're out of print because I haven't been able to find one, except online for weird prices. This one was in the secondhand bookstore for a pretty good price, so I just went ahead and grabbed it to replace my damaged copy. The next one, again, will not be a shocker if you know anything about me. I Want My MTV. It's the uncensored story of the music video revolution. Something my mom and I have in common is we are addicted to MTV. She was when she was a teenager, because that's when MTV first came out. And I'm addicted to MTV Classic, where they still play all the music videos that they used to play. This book basically interviews a bunch of artists about their experience on MTV and MTV throughout the years. I just thought it was really interesting, and I wanted to grab it, so I did. Monty Python's Flying Circus, All the Words. This is Volume 2. I already own Volume 1, and I couldn't find Volume 2 until I went to this store. What this is just the scripts to all the Flying Circus episodes, which, again, speaking in like to MTV, Monty Python's Flying Circus was pivotal to my experience growing up. It pretty much almost single-handedly shaped my sense of humor. I still love rewatching The Flying Circus. It always makes me laugh. And if you've never seen Monty Python's Flying Circus, I believe it's on Netflix. You definitely need to watch it. You definitely need to try it. The last book that I picked up from Second Story Books was To Live and Defy in LA, How Gangsta Rap Changed America. A fun Chey fact you may not know about me is that I also grew up on gangsta rap, thanks to my mother. My mother listened to all kinds of music all the time, all day, in every single room. Therefore, one room could be playing polka from the radio, and I'd walk in to the next room as a toddler, and NWA would be blasting on a boombox. The title intrigued me as soon as I saw it. I'm really into musical anthropology and just its effects on society and community. That was actually going to sort of be my focus for my thesis, my history thesis at Georgetown, was the community created by protest music under Thatcher in England. So anything in that same vein of music affecting society or communities just intrigues me very much. The last piece of merchandise that I grabbed was from Crumbs and Whiskers, which is the cat cafe that we went to in DC, and I just grabbed this pink crew neck with this adorable design on it. It's winter, it's warm, it's cozy, I'm in love with it. When you're there at the cat cafe, they take photos of you and a cat, a Polaroid photo, as part of your appointment, and this was Alex and I's Polaroid. That's all I have for this haul. That's all I have for this video. If you've watched through to the end, you are a trooper, and I thank you. There will be more videos like this in the future. This is part of a series I do called Why Not, where it's really just spontaneous things that I want to try or I find interesting, and I go and do them. A lot more exciting stuff coming soon, and I am thrilled to take y'all along with me. If you haven't heard it from anyone else today, I love you. Love and peace. Until tomorrow.